Hello there and welcome to Vintage Soul Creates. So today I'm going to be over dyeing this variegated skein of gray yarn. This is, I can't remember, some percentage of yak, superwash merino, and silk. I think it's, I don't remember what the percentages are at the moment. I bought this over a year ago, and I had 4 of them, and I dyed them all in these variegated colorways, and I over dyed one for my brother-in-law for a hat last year, and I used the remainder of that in a throw that I'm making for my brother-in-law and my sister for their anniversary. And I decided to over dye this one as well to make it less variegated, since the one that was left over from his hat was less variegated, so that it's not 1 2-tone yarn and then 3 variegated yarns. So I have 100 grams here, and the aim is just gonna be to get this looking more solid. There's only so much I'm going to be able to do. Obviously it's very mottled, so there's still going to be some tonal variation here, but I'm basically going to dip one end in blue and one end in gray, and we're going to see what we can do. So here I have roughly 8 cups of water in my rice cooker, which is preheating. I'm going to add a healthy splash of vinegar because I want this to bind pretty quickly, and since there is silk in this yarn, it's gonna take a little longer. I'm gonna grab my mask real quick, mix up my dyes. Let me see if I can find another little, So I have 2 little containers that I'm gonna mix my dyes in, so I can just pour them in. I only have to wear my mask for a short time because I've been sick lately, so it kind of sucks to wear a mask. 1 second, I need to check that. Come on. Okay, our heater went out, and my dad was just texting me to ask if we needed a space heater. And I was telling him, hopefully not, since the HVAC guys are, just knocked my dyes off the table. Hopefully not, since the HVAC guys are coming today, but that, who knows. So, he said, well, if they can't fix it today, then we'll go to Costco later and get one, so. Okay, anyways, gonna mix up my dyes here. I'm going to pour a little water, or more than a little, but I'm gonna pour water in each of these glass containers I have here. Are these on camera? Let's see. I think they should be. Yeah, those are in frame, okay. And so I have 3 of each color here. For the gray, I have blue gray, neutral gray, and better black. These are all fiber reactive colors from Dharma. And yes, you can use fiber reactive colors, fiber reactive dyes on animal products. There is a myth out there that you can't. You totally can. You just have to use acid instead of an alkaline. It's pretty simple chemistry. So yeah, if you have fiber reactive dyes and you want to use them on animal products, you can. Just rest assured. I do it all the time. They don't sometimes exhaust in the same way as acid dyes do, but they do work. You might just have a tiny bit of color left over when you're done. Okay, so I'm using these tiny little scoopers that I bought on Amazon. I have absolutely no idea what the measurement of this is, except that it's a tiny amount, and that's what I want. I don't want to overload this with color. Since I'm using 3 colors, I'm basically putting in 3 tiny scoops here because I can be a little bit heavy-handed with my when I use my larger scoops, and I don't want to overdo it. I don't really have any extra yarn to throw in as an over dye, or for a yarn mop, I mean, in this particular case. So yeah, I'm trying to just be frugal with my dye. That's not the right word. Basically, I'm trying not to overdo it. I don't want a lot of dye left in the pot because then I'm gonna have to just chuck the water when I'm done, and I don't want to do that. Okay, so for the blues, I'm using Alpine Blue, Kingfisher Blue, and Blueberry. Again, these are all fiber reactive dyes from Dharma. And I'm doing the same thing as before, just adding one of these little kind of smidgen scoops to my jar of water and mixing them all together. And I'm doing this because I want kind of a varied blue color here. And all of these have kind of different hues to them. Like Kingfisher's a little more blue, or a little more green. Blueberry's a little more to the purple side. Alpine is a very true blue. Oh, okay. And then same with the grays. It's like I have this Better Black. Better Black is, it leans more purple. Blue Gray leans kind of an orangey brown with pops of blue. And Neutral Gray is very blue, maybe leaning a little to the purple side. So I kind of figured that between the 2 of these, I would get what I'm looking, or between the three of these and the 2 different colors, I would get what I'm looking for. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the blue. I figure I'm gonna start with the gray. If there's some gray left over in the pot when I add the blue, I think that's not so much of a problem. But I don't want the gray side of this yarn to go to blue. Okay, my water is nice and hot. It's not boiling, but it's hot. Yeah, let's go for it. And the yarn is dry. I don't know in this particular instance how much of a difference that might make or not. I also don't know where my tongs are. Let's see, and this is just so we can get a feel here, this is the color of the water with these gray dyes in it. It's kind of a purpley gray. So we'll see what we come up with here. If it's not dark enough, I can always add more color, but we can't take color away, so. Okay, and at the moment it's looking like there is mostly just purple left in this pot. So I'm gonna grab my mask again and mix up a little bit more of the blue-gray to add in. I'll try to kind of balance it out color-wise here. And give a nice, I'm gonna do actually 3 scoops of the blue-gray. This one's not as strong as the other two. And I'm actually going to add a little bit more of the neutral gray as well. That one does lean a little more to the purple side, but it's not crazy. The better black leaves quite purple. And I might be on the verge here of adding too much dye. It's entirely possible. It's not like I haven't done it before. So we're just gonna see what happens here. Looks pretty blue. Oh, kick my tripod again. Okay, and the color is almost all in the yarn. It's pretty hard to see on camera. I'm sure it probably still just looks black because my pot is black. But I can see the bottom of the pot and there's very little dye left in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out now. And set it to the side. I'm going to add my blue dye. Let's just see what kind of, yeah, that's actually not super pigmented, so we'll see with that. If anything, I might end up adding some more of the Kingfisher to that. But let's go right on in. Let's see. Well, it's still a fair amount of color left in here. It's not super deep, but I'm gonna see how much of it we can soak up and where that leaves us. It's entirely possible that I'll need to come back and over dye this a second time after it dries if I feel like it isn't where I want it to be. I don't think I'll have to do that, but it is possible. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but let me see if I can adjust here. Oh, that's not changing anything. Okay. I should have brought my ring light out here. I just don't have a good place to plug it in, so I didn't. I can brighten this in post-processing or something so that you can see more of what's going on in the pot, because when the yarn is under the water, I can see the different colors better. When I pull it out, it all just looks black. But when it's in the water, I can see the variations of purple, the different blues. I can see up here that it's quite gray, but there are still some purples definitely visible. I think I will, though, go in with a little bit more of the Kingfisher. Just a small amount. Add some water here. Put my mask back on. So the Kingfisher is one of these colors that has an asterisk, which means that you generally need twice the recommended amount to achieve the depth of shade that you see on Dharma's website. Just for kicks here, I'm going to add a little more alpine blue because I just really like the sort of color that gives. And I want this to go a little more to a green angle than a purple. I mean, it's all blue. It's not, none of it's actually going to be green or purple. But like I said, blueberry has more purple undertones, where Kingfisher has more green undertones. And then since I mixed it with that alpine blue, you can see here we have a very blue. Okay. Mask back off, back to dipping. And I'm dip dyeing here. I'm not necessarily trying to I'm not necessarily trying to achieve a darker at one end line. Oh shit. Okay, well it seems like I might not have filmed a lot of that. Hopefully I did. In case I didn't, here is what we have. I thought I hit record again after my dad called, but I don't know if I did. Okay, well, hopefully that wasn't a waste of video space. So this is the yarn that I dip dyed. I went ahead and caked it and started working with it because I did not think that I actually recorded that part and then found later that I had, but there's kind of something up with my SD card where I can't see what videos I've recorded in the back of my camera, so I didn't realize until I loaded them all onto the computer that I had actually hit record on those videos, although I'm not sure if I got all of them or not. But anyways, this is how the yarn turned out. It's really pretty. Let's see. Yeah. It came out really nice, and this right here is the part that I was trying to match. I didn't want it to exactly match, and it doesn't exactly match, but you can see it's pretty similar. And so my goal here was, you know, I have this two-toned yarn here in the middle, then I have this kind of very variegated one here, and then another dip-dyed two-toned one here, and then the last skein is also going to be a really variegated one. So the last one will be this. And yeah, that's it. I think this one was a success. I actually didn't expect it to go quite as well as it did. I'm very happy with how it came out. And yeah, there we go. So happy dyeing and happy crocheting and happy holidays and toodaloo.